Alright, what is up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and today we are diving into the all-new GoPro Hero 12. It kind of feels like I just made the Hero 11 video, which they do come out with a new camera every year, and you can kind of expect it now. But yeah, the Hero 12 is pretty rad. Before we get further into this video, just want to make it clear that I am not sponsored by GoPro. This video is not sponsored by GoPro. Now, as I've stated before in previous videos, I am a big GoPro fan, and I think that they've come a long way, and I'm pretty stoked about this little guy. So with that said, let's jump into it. So I've been using the new GoPro Hero 12 for about 2 weeks now, and I've had the chance to put it through the ringer. I've shot some wakeboarding, some mountain biking, some time lapses, and just whatever I can to kind of get a pretty well-rounded feel for the new camera, and hopefully to share with you guys any input and feedback that I might think is helpful to you. I know a lot of people review these cameras on here and they might have a lot of the same information, but hopefully if you've seen some of my videos and you've been to my channel before, you know that I shoot with GoPros all the time, and as an action sports videographer and photographer, I use these on a regular basis and they come in really handy. I've shared some tips and tricks in the past, and in some future videos I'm going to share what I think are the best settings and best ways to set this up. But in today's video, I just wanted to share kind of my first impressions on this camera and share with you guys what I am really excited about. So first, let's talk about what's not new on the camera. The body style, the frame, everything is the same other than one new addition. They added a 1/4-20 thread to the bottom of the GoPro here, so you can easily attach it to a standard tripod mount or anything like that. So that's pretty handy. Other than that, what's nice about that they didn't change the body, the lens, or anything like that, other than the max lens mod, which we'll get to in just a second. All your mounts, all your adapters, everything that you might have for some previous GoPros will still work on this, so that's nice. They didn't change it up big time, and you don't have to buy a whole bunch of new accessories for the GoPro Hero 12. As far as frame rates and resolutions go, there's no major updates. You still shoot 5.3K up to 60 frames per second. You shoot 4K up to 120 frames per second. And then you can still shoot 2.7K and 240 frames per second. And it seems like they've made enhancements across the board within those modes, and some stuff that we're about to talk about, whether it's HDR, GP log. They had 10-bit color last year, but 10-bit still looks amazing. So as far as resolution and frame rates go, those stayed the same with some improvements, which we're about to talk about. So first thing I wanted to talk about as far as video is they introduced HDR, and that stands for high dynamic range. And this is one of the standout features for me. It can make your footage look more lifelike and feel closer to what your eyes are actually seeing. It captures both highlights and shadows really well, and it blends the two, giving you an HDR video. And you can shoot HDR in up to 4K 60 frames per second. But wait, it gets even better.
But I'm not done yet.
GoPro has stepped up its game with GP log, which is kind of like going pro with your GoPro. Now, I've used GoPros for years in the past on projects that are considered professional, and they've worked fine. But now it shoots a log file, which means it's even flatter, and you can match that and color grade it and fine tune things even more than before, and match it to other cameras, whether you're shooting Sony, Panasonic, Canon, whatever it might be, and it looks pretty good. This feature offers even more dynamic range and the best picture quality you can squeeze out of the GoPro. The only catch is you're gonna need to do some color correction in post-production to make it look its best. However, this gives you incredible flexibility to match footage with other cameras in your edit, whether it's from a drone, DSLR, Canon, Sony, Panasonic, whatever it might be. Check out some of these shots, and I thought it was pretty mind-blowing that I was shooting directly into the sun, but you still saw details in the shadows and the sky, and just looked really good. I was like, okay, now we're talking. Let's talk about Hypersmooth 6.0. If you thought GoPro stabilization couldn't get any better, well, think again. Because They stepped it up yet again in Hypersmooth 6.0, and they took things to a whole new level, which it's basically wizardry. I don't know how they do it. I didn't think it could get much better, but they did, and I put it through the ringer. I went down some really rough and rowdy trails. Look at this thing. It looks like it's on a track. It looks like it's flying on a drone down through the woods. Absolutely incredible, and yeah, they did it again. Something to talk about. This next one, I kind of thought was just gonna be a marketing gimmick, and maybe in some ways it might be, but in their launch video, they touted 2 times battery life, and I was like, okay, well, we could all use more battery life. But I will say that the battery definitely lasts longer. I've been really impressed with the battery life on this one. I haven't had a super big issue with battery life in the past, but I will say that shooting my normal way that I would shoot with a GoPro with the Hero 12, I come back and I'm like, oh, I still have half a battery left or whatever it might be, whereas before I might have had to replace a battery. So the battery life is definitely better. I can't confirm whether it's 2 times better, but it's definitely better. So I saved this one for the end because it's not purely included on just the Hero 12. This is an addition. Hang on, let me grab it. So they introduced the Max Lens Mod 2.0, which they released the original one, I believe with the Hero 9, and it was really cool. I picked up one of those as well, but one thing I always felt like I was kind of picking and choosing my battles between, okay, do I want to shoot in 5K and get really good picture quality, or do I want to shoot with the Max Lens Mod and have really good stabilization? Now, to my previous point earlier, standalone Hypersmooth 6.0 is absolutely incredible, and as you can see, it's great. And when I shoot bike stuff, especially in POV, and I use the new Hyperview mode, it looks great, and it looks really, really wide, so I'm pretty happy with that. But if you want an even wider field of view and more stabilization and 360 lock in a wide setting, then you're gonna want to pick up the Max Lens Mod 2.0. They made the field of view even wider, and you can also shoot in 4K up to 60 frames per second now, as well as 1080 up to 120 frames per second. I mean, plus the horizon lock feature is just really cool. I hope to try some pretty cool stuff with that here soon. So there you have it. That is my take on the GoPro Hero 12. I've had it for a couple weeks, like I said, and so far I really like it. Now, is it worth upgrading whether you have the 10 or 11? If you don't really use your GoPro a whole lot, then maybe not. If you want more pro features out of your GoPro, then yeah, maybe, especially with the GP log. It's a beast of a camera that brings some exciting new features to the table while maintaining the reliability that we've come to expect from GoPro. So thanks for joining me on this little review, little first impression. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps out my channel. And subscribe for more videos like this and more to come. And until next time, stay stoked, and I will catch you in another video.